What's up, you guys? Tony here. So if you clicked on this video, you probably had the same question I did when I first started collecting points and miles and learning about the whole travel for free with credit card thing. If you're watching this video, then you probably consider yourself a credit card hacker of some sort, but don't you ever wonder, where do those free points and miles and free flights come from? Why are these credit card companies handing out free rewards, and if there's enough people like us, won't they just lose money and go bankrupt? So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down all of the ways that these credit card companies actually make their money, and some of these ways are so sneaky you don't even know that you're getting charged. So if you're in the credit card game for the long run, which I hope you are because there's a whole world of rewards ahead of you, we're really lucky that we have this available to us here in Canada and in the other countries, but it's not available all around the world, so we're really lucky that it's even a thing. But this video will give you guys a perspective, a bigger picture of how this actually works. Why do these companies give you so much incentive for you to sign up for their card, and what kind of incentive they're making in the back end? Welcome back if you're returning, and if you're new, my name is Tony, and on this channel we focus on personal finance. We upload every single week, so if you want to see more content like this every single week, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit the bell button, and all I ask for is for a quick like. It really helps with the channel's algorithm, helps YouTube to show this video to more people like yourself. Alright, let's get right into it then. It may seem like a no-brainer and really obvious how credit card companies make their money, but I promise you there are so many other ways that they are actually bringing in their revenue. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down all the ways, and also make sure you stay until the end because near the end, I'm going to cover a really sneaky way that they make their money that you literally cannot escape from. Number one is what leaves people like Dave Ramsey scratching their heads: interest payments. Now, you might be someone that says, I never pay interest at all. I always pay off my bill in full every single month, which you really should if you're in this game at all. You may think that this don't apply to you at all, but what most people don't know, that you will also get charged interest payments if you do things like taking out a cash advance. And if you don't know what that is taking out cash using your credit card at an ATM instead of a debit card. Now, first, you gotta understand this from the card issuer's perspective. For example, if you're using your credit card to make a purchase, for example, at a designer store, they know exactly what you're buying. However, if you're taking out cash at an ATM, that can seem a little bit sketchy, and from their perspective, they have no idea what you're doing with the cash or if they're ever gonna see that ever again. I mean, you could be doing drugs with that for all they know. Because of this, you will get charged interest the second you take out cash using a cash advance. So just keep that in the back of your head and don't do cash advances ever. Next is the various fees that you get charged as a user of that credit card. You know that little booklet that you get when you first open a credit card, and how it has 1,000 pages and you just happen to chug it out the window? Well, maybe it is made like that on purpose so that you wouldn't actually go through everything. And if you did, you're gonna realize the various fees, like the balance transfer fees, and I can go on and on. The most popular one, or the most common one that's charged to Canadians, is the 2.5% foreign transaction fee, which is pretty standard on most credit cards, and there's some cards that don't charge that fee, but on most cards that will. And if you don't know, for those travelers out there, if you go to another country, or if you go to like Europe or the US and don't use the Canadian currency, you will get charged a 2.5% conversion on top of the normal conversion fee. Or if you simply are purchasing something online, a digital product, and it's in another currency, then you're going to be charged that fee. Another really common one that we see all the time is the good old annual fee, and for those people that are in the game for a while and have higher end credit cards, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For example, the Amex Personal Platinum has an annual fee of $700 per year, and you only times that by, say, 5,000 cardholders, that's $3.5 million in revenue. And that's per year, you guys, just on one card. And I'm sure there's many other credit card holders out there way more than 5,000. So that was just an example, but you can imagine how much they make just from this alone. Next is ironically points and cash back. Now you may ask, what do you mean points and cash back? Isn't that what I earn? But most points and cash back are actually, if you think about it, they're actually like, it doesn't exist. It's not physical. It's literally just the number on the screen. But then you can argue that as we're moving into a digital age, everything is basically on the computer. But then my point is, why can't points and cashback be easier to use? For example, if you have a cashback credit card, why can't they just redeem automatically for cashback? Why do you have to have those credits on your account and then you have to click 1,000 buttons to actually redeem them? Well, this is because it's done on purpose, and the harder they make for you to redeem, maybe you're gonna be lazy and forget it. In business, there's actually a business term just for this, and also like it works. Like, for example, every single year there's so many points that actually expire, and all the points and miles and rewards, whatever that expires, is what the companies that they don't have to pay the consumers. The next one, you guys, is really sneaky. Have you ever wondered why those smaller merchants, especially those mom and pops ones, they don't take American Express? Why is that? Well, this is because of something called merchant fees. Well, it's not that Visa and Mastercard don't charge those, they actually do as well, but American Express will charge a higher merchant fee than Visa and Mastercard. This one is kind of dirty and you can't really escape from it, and I'm gonna explain to you in the next little bit of why that is. You see, once upon a time, everyone used cash and had cash for everything they bought. For example, if you went to the store and there's a good and service, the cost to you, the end consumer, is basically the cost of that good and service plus tips and tax. And then these credit cards came in, very thin, very easy to use. You literally just tap it. It's really convenient, but they're not free actually, and they did come at a cost. You will never see this on the receipt or anything like that because it all happens in the back end. But basically how it works is every time you buy that good old Big Mac or that cup of coffee at Starbucks, a percentage of that total amount will get charged to the merchant by the credit card company, whether it's Visa, MasterCard, or American Express. Not only that, but you know those machines that you conveniently just tap with your card and just pay? Well, you see, the machines, they actually charge the merchant a percentage of those transactions as well. And don't think that you can escape this by shopping online, because you still get charged, or the merchants still get charged in a form of payment gateways. Although like you and I, we don't get charged this amount, but more often than not, the merchant actually raises their price a little bit just so that the customer can actually cover the price. And more often than not, if you notice stores that take credit cards, you do notice a slight increase in their charges, whether it's a cup of coffee or like a meal. So in a weird way, whether you're using a credit card or cash, you're getting charged this no matter what. This is why some of the local really cheap restaurants out there still take just debit cards or just take cash only. That's because they can cut on that cost and hopefully pass on that discount to you and I. Another very good example, you guys, is you may notice more often than not that the stores actually take American Express tend to charge a little bit higher in terms of their goods and services compared to the stores that don't take American Express. Well, this is because the American Express actually have a whole other business model different than Visa and MasterCard. Now they have a really interesting business model because instead of making majority of their money off of interest rate charges, what they do is they position themselves as a premium credit card or player in the credit card industry. And how they do it is with these higher annual fee credit cards. For example, the personal and the business platinum with annual fees like $500 to $700. Well, the kinds of people that have these cards, they're not just gonna buy one apple pie per month. They're usually higher spenders, and that kind of brings us a full circle because remember earlier what we talked about these merchant fees and stuff like that. Well, they're gonna be collecting a higher merchant's fee than Visa and Mastercard. So their strategy is to basically pull together a bunch of middle to upper class or even the elites and have them spend all this money, and then they would just bank on merchant fees instead of like hammering people on interest rates. And then again, as people spend more and more money, they're gonna be collecting more and more of these fat merchant fee checks. And I mean, this business strategy works. Just look at their last quarter, for example. Although not all profit, they made more revenue than Visa and MasterCard combined. So those are just some of the key ways that these credit card companies actually make their money. And I mean, ironically, whether or not you like it, even if you do pay only cash, they're still kind of making that money off of you because those merchant fees that usually gets passed on to the consumer. So whether you like it or not, you're kind of already paying for it anyways. So might as well maximize every single point and mile and fly for free. If you want to learn more about this topic, we got so many resources on this channel on how to travel for free, how to maximize points and rewards. So make sure to check it out before you go. And if you do enjoy the content, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe with the bell as well, just to see more videos like this every single week. We post every single week, you guys. And hitting like just helps YouTube to show this video to more people like yourself, so more people can learn, can enjoy from it. And as always, have an amazing day. Peace.